All right, guys. So if you're dealing with some in-laws and you're married and you're tired of your in-laws being a pain in the ass, this video is for you. You need to tell them like the wrestler The Rock says, know your role and shut your mouth. That's basically what they need to do. All right, guys. So let's jump into it. I'm going to give you a few points and mistakes that I feel that in-laws make for married couples. One point is in-laws have a problem with accepting the transition. If a married couple, you've been living with your kid or whatever for all these years, and now all of a sudden when they leave home and decide to get married, now they have to transition into a new life. Then kids get involved, and they're also learning about the person they're marrying. So that's called a growing process, which means that mistakes are going to be made. They're still figuring things out, and next thing you know, some of you are in the early phase looking on the outside in as in-laws, and then you're already critiquing and making judgments. Let them damn grow. They haven't even lived in a house together for a year, and you're already making comments. Even if you feel like they had something that you didn't like prior to them moving in, the reality is it changes when things get married, because being married and being in a dating relationship is not the same. Trust me. And I'll make another video on that. Number two point that I want to make is giving opinions when unnecessary. And so there are some things that you might need to get involved in, like if there's domestic violence or consistent infidelity. I get it. You want to step up and say something. But then when it's little things like cosmetic things, like the guy leaves the toilet seat up, or the guy complains on his wife because she's always out with the girls or something every Friday, like little things like that. Sometimes let them work it out. You don't need to get too involved, because once you start giving an opinion on every little thing, you start to become the enemy. And that spouse looks at the in-law like, I really don't like you. So that's a challenge. Another thing I would say is favoritism. That's the biggest thing. In-laws will automatically favor their family because they believe that blood thicker than water, whoever came up with that. And guess what? Some of your family is jacked up with some of the things they do. Like there's people who have bad spending habits, financial issues, for example. They knew this since they were kids, but they will defend them because they're family. Makes no sense to me. Or they can have a kid in a previous marriage or relationship, and they come in and get remarried to someone else. Well, that kid is not biologically part of the family. So some of the in-laws can show favoritism to the biological kid as opposed to the kid that's not theirs. That's also an issue, and that happens a lot more than you think. So in-laws, in short summary, you guys got to know your role and know when to speak, because at the end of the day, not everything is worth an opinion. And some of you giving advice on relationships, hell, a lot of you in-laws don't have stable relationships yourselves. You're with people coming in and out like a revolving door, but yet you got the answer to everything. Cut it out. Bottom line is, there's a time and place for everything. If it's not something along the lines of infidelity, domestic violence, or something that's really serious, sometimes just give people space and let them work it out. It's actually more beneficial. Hope this video helps. Take care.